Titles, go.
Flicking your heels.
Use the promo code GeekPod.
Coming home with something.
Master better.
Your personal Yoda.
Gaming twins.
I am law.
Don't you touch Jake.
We'll be here.
Jack's best friend.
Fuck yeah, Homer.
Dyslexic Ruben.
Pedo reception.
Old Cabbage Head.
Carnival of crime.
Okay, let's do this.
Warning. What you are about to hear contains explicit language, adult themes, and potentially disturbing content. The views and opinions expressed are those of the hosts and do not reflect the opinions of anyone else, anywhere, ever, in the history of the world. This podcast is intended for an immature audience and should not be listened to by anyone, anywhere, ever, in the history of the world. You know, fuck it. You've been warned.
Hello, welcome to this week's edition of Geek Pod. I'm your host, Paul.
I'm Hugh.
Corbs.
I'm Kev.
I'm Jack.
I had it right at the very beginning and it fell off right after that. Guys, what's got you geeked?
Well, I've got two things this week. One of them is I actually meant to bring this up a few weeks ago, but as you guys know, one of my favorite breweries is Athletic Brewing. They've been really leading the charge in making non-alcoholic beer. And a few weeks ago, Athletic was named one of Time Magazine's 100 most influential companies. Now, this is pulled right from the Time Magazine thing on their website. The reason that they're on this is they're actually competing with the giants in the industry. Founded in 2017, Athletic Brewing originally in 2020 sold 37,500 barrels of beer. In 2021, they sold 100,000 barrels of beer. That is a huge jump, and they're actually competing with the big companies because Budweiser, all those guys, they all have zero alcohol offers, and they all suck. So these guys are doing really well. They also donate 3% of their sales to charities like the Yosemite Conservancy, which in 2021 worked out to more than $1 million.
That's awesome.
Donated.
Wow.
Yeah, they're big. They're big on making the world a better place as well. So it's exciting to see them doing so well. And I actually got a delivery today. Got a couple that I haven't had before. One of them, I'm super excited. Actually, let me get this out of my way because I had to pull that Time article up. Have not tried this yet. It's a Mangonada IPA. It is made with mangoes, real mangoes, not flavoring, and habanero peppers.
Ooh.
Okay. How's that taste?
Oh, that's amazing. Oh
That's
my
awesome.
God. Anyway, the other thing I'm excited about is we tried something new this week. Now, my wife came to me about a week ago, 2 weeks ago maybe, and said, I think I'm going to try a smoothie thing where I have a smoothie for breakfast and a smoothie for lunch and then dinner and do it for 30 days. And she always says, you don't have to do these things with me. But as a husband that likes his life to go smoothly, I know that absolutely means I have to do this with her. And I'm fine because I already usually have a smoothie for breakfast anyway. So, but that actually led into something else because I've been toying with the idea of using one of these meal services. And the idea was smoothie for breakfast, smoothie for lunch. We get the meal service for 5 meals a week. That's portion control right there because, I only have the number of portions they send me. And maybe it would rekindle my fire because I've kind of lost my enthusiasm for cooking. Like, I'm just like, fuck, okay, I'll make tacos or let's just go out. I don't know. I had so many, cooking dinner for the past several years, I'm just burned out on it. So I'm getting new recipes and new things I've not done before. We settled on EveryPlate, which at their normal price, this is without any sort of like first order deals or anything. This is what you'd pay if you were using it normally for 4 people, because you can only do it in 2 or 4. 4 people, 5 nights a week with shipping included comes to $109.99, which is a hell of a lot less than we spend on groceries.
Oh, yeah.
On a given week. So Got it delivered this week. We've had 2 of the meals so far. We had the first one was cherry basted meatballs with garlic mashed potato and roasted zucchini. Tonight it was a fried pork chop with roasted carrots and potatoes, but there was also an onion based pan gravy that went over everything. So it was delicious. The meal selection is good. They have some interesting stuff. This isn't, I don't want to say it's not diet friendly, but it's the idea there isn't diet. It's comfort food. But especially if you're someone like me who makes giant pots of shit and we eat it for 4 days, I'm sure I eat more than a serving when we sit down. So I think the portion control is going to help. I'm not going to try to shill or anything here, but if anybody's interested, I can send out like $20 coupons, referrals. If someone wants to do that, you just need I need an email, and that the same for anyone who's listening. You get $20 off your first box. I think it's worth trying. There's no commitment. You can stop whenever you want. So if you've been thinking that your meals and your weeknight planning have gotten a little hectic or crazy, you might want to take a look at it. I haven't run into one. They come with these big meal cards with pictures and walk you through everything. So it's super easy to just set that up and you've got it all there in front of you. And if you have any iota of cooking skill, you're not going to have any issues just following the instructions.
My wife's parents get this.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, they got a calendar. It tells them exactly what meals they're getting. Yeah, it's called SNAP, Senior Nutrition Program.
No, that's a good idea to get that because Hugh, we worked the 40-hour work week, the normal job. Then I just picked up a part-time job, 20 hours a week. So 60 hours a week. And then on Sundays, you're meal prepping. It's like, I have to prep for the week. That actually, I'm going to take you up on that.
Oh, yeah, it's cool. I mean, the meat all comes packaged. You just throw it in the freezer, pull out what I need that day and let it thaw. And then just all the vegetables and everything are just in a box. I mean, you got little packets of soy sauce and seasoning and everything corresponds to specific meals. The cheeses, the sour cream, whatever you need, it's all there with the exception of staples like oil, salt, pepper, flour, if you need it. They expect you'll have some things, ketchup. But yeah, it's all pre-portioned. So when I go to make a meal, I have a packet that has exactly the amount of seasoning or the amount of this or the amount of that I need. So I don't even really need measuring spoons. It's super convenient.
And remember, that's EveryPlate. Don't forget to use your promo code GeekPod. No, I'm just kidding.
See, now people are going to do that, Paul.
We couldn't get that
lucky. Well, you know what? They actually sent me a message and said, "Hey, how are you liking it so far?" I said, "It's great. I'm going to talk about it on my podcast tonight, www.geekpod.com." We'll see if they respond.
Yeah, and the guy reading that says, "Yeah, you and everybody else, buddy." Sorry, but it would be nice if you actually did get a response on that.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool.
You'll be the first to know.
Corbs.
Yeah. For me, I gotta go like you. I got a couple of things. For me, it is so. Last weekend was the Masters, obviously. Like I said, I sat on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and watched it from Thursday and Friday. I didn't really. I watched it. It was on in the background. I was at work, and then when I got done with work, I turned on ESPN and it was on in the background and watched it. But Sunday is obviously the day. Like I sat in my room, watched it from start to finish on the TV. The funny thing about it is my buddy was down in Georgia. Like I told you guys last week, he was down there and he asked me to place a couple of bets for him because we do FanDuel.
Mm-hmm.
So he texted me from Georgia. He's like, "Well, the FanDuel app doesn't work down here because we can't bet in Georgia." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "So how much money you got on your account?" So I told him. He's like, "Okay, I want you to place a couple bets for me." So I bet three bets for $10 and one for $20. I put all the bets in for him. Well, what happened was I actually doubled one of the bets. I bet on the guy twice. That guy ended up winning.
Oh, nice.
So I won $160 on the bet because I bet I also bet it for my buddy. He won $160. So I won $320 over the weekend betting on the Masters. So which was kind of nice. And then
wait, so you were a master bettor?
I'm a masturbator. So last night, my son went to his buddy's house for a couple hours. So my mom and I went out to Yellow Brick Road. And so we were out there.
Twice.
Huh?
Just click your heels to get there.
I did. I did. And it worked.
No, that's how you get home. That's how you get home, Paul.
So we went out there. I sat down. I put $40 in the machine and got it to $120, and then lost it all. So I was doing well.
As you do. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I sat down at the table because there's a couple of games I like playing. I played Let It Ride, and then I started playing a game called 3-Card Poker, which is kind of nice. So I sat down at 3-Card Poker, and the very first hand I hit 4 of a kind. Won about $700 for 4 of a kind.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was pretty nice. I was actually after losing about $150. So it was nice. So I came home with some money yesterday, which was kind of nice. So
Perfect.
yeah, so that's it for me. Money is always nice.
Money is always nice.
Yeah. So
That's good though. Like every time I go to a casino, like I've won before, but most recent times I would just lose, and it's just never fun. But I'm glad you won.
yeah, it was fun. I mean, I hadn't really been winning. Like I go like once a month, maybe. Sometimes Kelly and I will go on Thursday nights when we have date night. We'll go out there for a little while, and that's when I first started. When I was going, I was playing Let It Ride, and the odds are a little harder on Let It Ride because you get 3 cards dealt, and Let It Ride you get 3 cards dealt, and the dealer gets 3 cards, and they bury 1 card, and you got to make the best 5-card hand. You're not playing against anybody else. You're not playing against the dealer. You're playing against the table. And you got to have a pair of 10s or better to open to win anything. If you don't have a pair of 10s, you lose.
Okay.
With 3-card poker, you get 3 cards, and you're playing against the dealer with your 3 cards. So, but with those 3 cards, you can end up getting, 6. You get 6 cards total. So you get your 3 cards plus the dealer's 3 cards. That's a 6-card bonus. That's how I hit the 4 of a kind. It was the 6-card bonus, which ends up being about 100 to 1. So it was a $5 bet. So I won $500 right there. So,
Nice.
which is pretty nice. So, but someday we'll have to go out there.
I'm not much of a bettor. I don't do a lot of gambling personally.
You should.
I know I shouldn't, because every time I do, like Jack said, I'm better off just throwing the money out the window.
Well, you can do that on the way up there.
Right. You have somebody in the backseat catching it.
Well, I mean, you could always just throw it at a hooker, and that guarantees you'll come home with something.
Oh,
This is true.
That's good.
Corbs, what's the new casino? It's closer than Yellow Brick Road. It's
So there's 4 total now. You got that all are associated with the Turning Stone. You got the Turning Stone. You got YBR, which is Yellow Brick Road Casino. You got Point Place, which is in Brewerton. And then there's the Lake House, which is out at Sylvan Beach.
must be Point Place. I'm thinking of. That's considered Brewerton.
Yep. Bridgeport. Sorry.
Bridgeport. Yeah, I was gonna say that's a little far for Brewerton.
It's like right at the Bridgeport. That's the Bridgeport area. Yeah. That's
right.
That one's been out there that one opened about 2 years before COVID hit. So it's been about 5 or 6 years. Lake House opened just before COVID hit. That one I have not been to yet. So I have no idea what that one is.
No, where's Lake House? We're on
Lake House is at Sylvan Beach.
Where?
No, up over the bridge. Now I've gone through Sylvan Beach because there's a golf course I put up that way. So you go up over the bridge. And as you come down to the bottom of the bridge, if you look directly to your left, it's the old. It was an old bar restaurant type place.
Okay.
Right next to where like the amusement park is.
Okay.
It's a big white building now. It's called the Lake House. I've never been in it, so.
But is it on the side of the bridge that the amusement park is on?
Yes, it's literally like the amusement park when you cross the bridge.
Closer to town. So it's closer to town.
Yeah, it's closer. It's very close to town. It's it's right at the beginning of town. It's like
wow.
You know where the roller coaster used to be in the back? If you go back towards the roller coaster, it's just to your right. You can't miss it. You can't miss it if you park in that little parking lot. You come over the bridge and go right. There's that parking lot right there. If you cross the street, it's literally right in front of you.
Wow. Okay.
So.
Nice.
Huh. Neat. I'm just curious.
Yep.
Kev.
Oh, me. Yeah.
Got you geek.
Did I tell you guys last week that I was getting my driveway done?
Yes, you told us all about Pat's masonry.
Yeah, Pat's masonry. No, that's right, I did. Yeah, no. So that's all done. It's all. We're just waiting for it to cure, and I gotta clean it, and then we gotta
cut it,
seal it. seal it before I can park on it. The wife still yells at me if I walk on it. I mean, they were walking on it the day they poured it, but I can't walk on it yet, even though she doesn't know I drove the motorcycle across it today.
Don't scuff your feet. Pick your feet up when you walk across it.
Yeah, whatever.
You're gonna knock the finish off of it.
Yeah, well, now I got to spray the mud off of it after riding the bike over it.
Well,
But yeah, there you go. But what I did also was I shored up my security cameras around the house. Now there's only one part of the house that I don't have covered yet, but I've experimented with a couple different kinds of cameras, different manufacturers, whatever. And the ones I like the most are the ones that have been in the news lately, the Wise cameras. Their Gen 1 cameras had a bit of a security flaw that was open for about 3 years, and it was pretty bad. So what they did was they just aged them out. They just said, "Oh, I'm sorry, we can't update them anymore. So you just got to buy new ones," and that's how they got rid of all the old ones. But I like their cheap Chinese cameras, and I like their software. I like what they've done. They're very, very good quality. The pictures are really good. Very inexpensive. They used to be like $20 a camera. They're like $30 a camera now, but when you buy a camera, it's an indoor-outdoor camera, so you can just mount it outdoors. You don't have to worry about it. So what I did was I had some power put out a couple different places, and I actually took down a motion light I had, replaced it with Wise's motion light and camera combination. I call it their floodlight camera. So I put that in, and they're nice. They really work well. The alerts work well. There's a lot of tuning you can do with those. You can pick what they do is they show you the picture of the area that the camera covers, and then you actually it's a grid of little squares, and you just draw the squares that you want it to monitor.
Mhm.
So it's really, really neat. So if anything happens in that area, it'll detect motion, and then it'll throw you an alert or record or whatever you want to do with it. The other nice thing that they do is, and this is something that really I think sets them apart, is they have a micro SD slot.
Oh wow!
So you can put up to a 32 gig micro SD flash card in the camera, which means you do not need to use their subscription system. You can record video as long as it's a version 3 camera or later. You can record the video, the motion video, directly to the camera and still retrieve that over the air to view whatever happens. So it's a pretty nice little feature. Right now they're doing $125 a camera per month on an annual plan for their what they call Cam Plus, which is they do all these recordings. It's long recordings, and they retain them for a long time. And it's a bunch of more settings. It's a bunch of security stuff. They got a Cam Plus Pro also. It's even more than that. The options are kind of ridiculous. But I want to see how far this goes. I like it. I like what I have set up. I've got a couple on the front deck. I've got the one over the front door, the garage man door next to the garage, so it covers the whole driveway, which is where the vehicles will be. But like right now, the whole front of the house is covered. So even though we're parking on the street and the wife is parking over at the neighbor's house, covers all that.
Nice.
And it's an HD. It's an HD video in picture. I'm not sure if it's 4K. I know it's really high quality. The really neat thing about the video too is if you're viewing the video stream, you can actually zoom in while you're viewing the live stream. So it's pretty neat. And they have two-way. They have a microphone and speakers. So I could turn it on and I could talk to somebody.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, exactly. I can do that. I can do that now. I got a couple more I want to put in, and I think they'll be done. One at the pool, one at the back door. Right now, I've got one looking out the window. I don't know if you've experimented with any cameras or not, but having a camera look out the window is fine until it gets dark, and then all they see is their own reflection. Yeah.
So I bought the house across the street from you, Kevin. No spying on me at night, all right, man?
Oh yeah, no, I don't watch what goes on across the street at all.
Sure, man. Sure.
He sells it on OnlyFans.com.
I gotta be honest though, I've had to be careful because I've had a Ring camera for a while, And you really have to be careful with those sensitivity settings because with the vehicles driving by, fucking things go off all the time. So, I mean, who the hell wants that kind of freaking noise?
Yeah,
So-
I had to disable the motion detector on our security cameras because anything happens in their view, and it was sending me constant alerts,
Mhm.
especially if it's windy. Like
Mhm.
on a Christmas when we have all of our lights up and the hanging icicle lights, and
Yep.
the wind just blows. I mean, it was catching that. So
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. These have a sensitivity setting for motion. But you got to be careful about that, right? Because I mean, if somebody's, really sneaky and they, walk up real slow, you might miss it.
well, I mean, my whole thing on having it is I can go look after the fact, and
Right.
pull stuff, which I've done. We actually had a group of people come down and break into a bunch of cars last year, and I got them on my camera, and I downloaded it, and I gave it to the one neighbor who was going to give it to the police. Not sure if
Yeah.
anything came up from it, but it was neat. I got it on both cameras, so I got a pretty good shot of them doing the whole street.
Yeah, I can't really say that anything's ever really happened around here. I mean, for all I know, it did, and I don't even know it. But my thinking is, if I ever, number one, I like it because it's kind of geeky and it's kind of fun. But number two, if anything ever did happen, I'll have a way to maybe go back on it. As long as I set it all up correctly to capture the video properly, I'll have something to go back on. But
Vigilante Kevin.
yeah, no, that's not really. I mean, you want to break into my house, you'll have a different name for me, and I'm not really sure they're going to let me record podcasts from where I'll end up. But beside the point,
Kev, won't that just be a number?
Something like that. Yeah, my picture will be one last time.
You do have the mustache for it. You just need the aviators and like one of those cop uniforms and patrol the neighborhood.
Yeah, they're gonna love me in fucking jail. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I love it.
Jack, what's got you geeked, man?
All right. As you guys know, Kevin and I are both going to Celebration this year. It's just so big, and my friend and I on Monday night we had a 3-hour conversation and planned some of the things out already. So we're really getting excited for it. So yes, I went on Amazon and I splurged $100 worth, and I got 4 different Star Wars t-shirts. So I have an R2-D2 one, Luke Skywalker versus Vader with Yoda in the background. Hello there, Kenobi, and a Jedi Academy since 1976. So
Nice.
Those are really nice. And the big thing that we got geeked for, Anthony Daniels, C-3PO, and Carl Weathers, we're going to get photos with them.
Nice.
So we're really geeked out for that. But yeah, Carl Weathers, we know him for probably Star Wars, but no, we know him as Apollo Creed, right? Corbs, like Predator, like.
Yeah.
But like it's funny
yeah.
though. It's funny what they say. They say, "Oh, you can't talk to them. Prepare to smile, and then just move on." Fuck no. I want to talk to Anthony Daniels. I hear he's like the nicest guy in the world.
Yep.
And my friend and I, it's because it's $155 for a picture alone. But we actually debated back and forth. We were like, do we do it with Anthony Daniels or Emperor Palpatine? Like, who do you get the picture with? So my argument was, yes, Palpatine is so cool, but Anthony Daniels, C-3PO, has been in all 9 of them. So my friend was trying to debate me. He's like, well, Palpatine was in A New Hope and all that stuff. He was not. He was not in A New Hope.
Nope.
So
And he
that's
wasn't
why
even originally in Empire Strikes Back.
he wasn't. It was another actor. You're absolutely right.
Yep.
So, but I swayed my friend, and but Carl Weathers, come on. Like, of course, you can say Sylvester Stallone is Rocky, but just it's Apollo Creed, it's Predator. He directs some of the Mandalorian. I think he directed Boba Fett episode, if I'm not mistaken, which is really cool. But that's really cool. I think that's really got me geeked for sure. But there's more things that we want to do for sure. Like Dave Filoni is going to be having something with Jon Favreau about Mandalorian. I'm going to put money on it, Kev. Tell me, and I want you there. We're going to meet up for sure. I believe we'll see a sneak peek for Mandalorian season 3 because Yeah, because that's gonna be awesome. I think. Go ahead.
Well, not just that. I think there's more stuff coming, and I think some of those what do they call them? The panels. I think some of those panels, especially the ones that you've got to win a lottery to get into. I think some of those are going to sneak peek not just Mandalorian season 3, but something that's coming that they haven't told us about yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then we're still holding out a little bit more money because you're spending a lot of money for it, but we still want to get the photo with Hugh McGregor. Yes, Hayden Christensen, Anakin Skywalker is epic, but I think I'm gonna hold out a little bit more money for Hugh McGregor if that's possible.
Yeah, I got a soft spot in my heart for Ewan McGregor. He's a motorcyclist that he's done a lot of stuff in front of the camera on a motorcycle. I besides the fact that he's been in Star Wars. So yeah, I'd love to see him.
Oh yeah.
I got a question.
I
got a question for you though. Do you know if the pictures are going to be with the partition? Are they going to have plastic partitions between you and the actor?
Fair question. I emailed the company for that. Rumor has it at the past couple months, other celebrations, the actor is getting them with the person with no mask.
Oh,
so
wow.
apparently, it all depends on the actor too. If I don't know Anthony Daniels and Carl Weathers, but I think they've done pictures since COVID and they're lifting. So I think they're doing it with no mask. So fingers crossed. So that would be nice.
I'm gonna admit something to you because you brought that up. I have in my cart right now pictures with 2 actors, one of which was Anthony Daniels, and my intention was to tell him about my first viewing of him in R2 Crossing the Desert in 1978, and then the other one was going to be Katie Sackhoff.
Yeah. Oh, see, like this is it's just like it's been 3 years. You buy the tickets, then you had to have them on delay, but now we got everything planned out. My friend and I, he lives in LA, so we got invited to some after parties. We got invited to some after parties. So, but we got to be careful because like on Thursday is the first day of celebration, and then Kenobi comes out that Friday. Do we go to a party with the screenings to see Kenobi, or do we just get up at like 4 a.m? Because like we're gonna get like 7 hours of sleep for 4 days. We're not gonna be sleeping.
Oh yeah.
But do we go to like a celebration party to watch Kenobi, or do we just go back and geeky and just like in boxers and beer and watch Kenobi in our bedroom? Which
you do both.
We'll
you do both. You do it all. You do it all. There's no. It's 4 freaking days out of your life. You do every fucking thing you can.
Well, that's it. But when we go to celebration, that's it. Because like I don't want to go to like after I finish the Thursday, I will watch Kenobi before I go to Friday celebration because I don't want to be like, oh my god, did you see hypothetical? Qui-Gon Jinn, Liam Neeson come out or something like that. I don't want to be spoiled because we get 2 episodes, not just 1.
Right, but I don't think you heard that it's delayed. It's not coming out. The first viewing of Kenobi is going to be at Celebration. You're not going to get a chance to see it before the panel.
Doesn't it come out at midnight on the 27th?
Okay, this is the way I heard it. Is that it's not going to come out when you think it is. You're not going to see it until after it's shown at Celebration.
Wow.
Yeah, they delayed it a week, but they're giving you 2 episodes.
Right.
I don't know about the dates, but that's what I heard is it was delayed a week.
It was supposed to come out the 25th, but it's going to come out the 27th. You get 2 episodes, but apparently what Kev's saying, maybe it'll be out at Celebration, but I thought it'd be out at midnight on the 27th. But
I hear what you're saying, and normally they do that. Normally that's what happens, but because I don't have any.
Oh wait, no, it was 2 days. It was moved back 2 days, so it's the 27th.
Yeah, and what I was told, which was second, third, fourth, fifth hand, whatever the hell it was done that way because the very first viewing is going to be at Celebration. Now I don't know that for a fact, but it makes sense if you think about it. Why else would they push it back?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But we'll see what happens. But what if the East Coast, hypothetically, you guys want to get up at 3 a.m. because that's potentially when it drops. So you're telling me it'll drop probably that night on the 27th because like if they're gonna, I don't know. We will see though. But other than that, Kevin and I will give you our full reports at Celebration. Paul, give me some merch, and I will give some business cards out to some new listeners to listen to us when we go to Celebration.
Perfect. We can do that, hopefully. A couple months.
All right.
So maybe we can get it done.
Really looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Paul, you're this way from me, so what's got you geeked?
I'm actually above you for the viewing. But
You're that way for me.
but
I'm gonna pick your nose.
what's got me geeked is the CNY Cyclones have done it again. Madison had another competition over the weekend. We were in Wildwoods, New Jersey, and her squad took a home third place.
Nice.
So, and I actually got to see it this time. I was there. It was fun. Holy shit, is that a long day. But in between when she performed and when they did awards, we did have a little bit of time, so I got to go walk the boardwalk, which is the big claim to fame in Wildwood. It's a big beach town. They get the boardwalk with the rides, kind of like a much bigger version of Sylvan Beach. And noticed a couple things. I didn't get a chance, so you guys won't get to see them, but they'll be thrown in for the audience to see. A couple of interesting things on the boardwalk. One being a hot dog stand called Grab a Wiener. And then I'm not sure what it was because it was closed, but the sign above it said Paul's Balls.
You should have stepped in.
I mean, I did step in and rub mine against it.
That place is closed because Kristen visited it years ago and bought all the stock.
Oh, it's out of business.
They're in a purse.
And then
He left a bad review.
1 out of 5
It's
stars.
tainted
Do not
now.
recommend.
It got salmonella.
I can't believe I'm stuck with these for the rest of my life now.
Oh god.
We did go to a really great pizza shop while we were there, and I just want to give them a shout out because it was really some of the best pizza I've ever had. It was called Crazy Junkie Pizza, and they're amazing. The people, they really care about what you think about it. They kept asking, "Oh, how's the pizza? Are you enjoying it? It's good. You like blah blah blah," whole thing. But the best thing that happened while we were in there, and I didn't.
Alone.
I didn't get a picture, but as we're sitting there eating our pizza, these two young men, I at least late teens, maybe early 20s, walk in, and they're both wearing black t-shirts, and I noticed the t-shirts immediately. This probably should be a WTF file.
They said Geek Pod.
No, that would be a real WTF. Like, how the
We
fuck
both
did that
had with
happen?
Oh,
No, get in there. And they get the clerk's
was stupid.
attention. Stop it. We saw plenty of those because there's a bunch of those fucking touristy t-shirt shops across the boardwalk. They get the clerk's attention and said, "Excuse me, sir. Do you happen to know where to hose at?" And the guy's like, "What?" He goes, just wondering. We heard there's a lot around here. Do you know where the hose at?" The guy goes, "Oh, you're trying to be funny. Okay." And he goes back to what he's doing. He goes, "Sir, you see my shirt?" That's what the shirt said. "Where the hose at?" Then they turn around. On the back, it says, "Toxic Boys for Life."
oh my god.
Wow.
No idea.
That's
But like I said, I mean, I was with the family, and then they walk away, and I'm shaking my head. I'm like, "Fuck, I should go get a picture with them." But they were gone. I totally had it all mapped out. I was gonna run up on them and then just see if they would pose with me for pictures, just so I could do this and show you guys. But missed opportunity. But shout out to the Toxic Boys for Life.
nobody in your party, your family was like, "Daddy, what is the host
Nope,
for life?"
they were all
Okay, good.
like engrossed in their pizza, like they missed the whole thing. So
Good.
yeah,
You're the only one that saw this.
me and the pizza guy, who was like, he was not impressed at all, not even a little bit. Sorry, I'm still getting over a little bit of a cold too. Sorry, guys. But guys, What you playing?
Well, I don't want to say in honor, but caused by my pre-purchasing of a Steam Deck, that got me thinking, because one of my major reasons for wanting a Steam Deck is I have always wanted Fallout 3 in New Vegas on a portable device. If they released it for phones, I would pay full premium AAA price, $69.99 each for those games to have them and be able to take them places. Probably my all-time favorite games. And
Really?
yes, and I'm going to be able to play those on the Steam Deck. That got me thinking about it, and I had to reach over to my other computer and click on Fallout New Vegas and bring it up, and now I'm right back into it. Forget the fact that I just started playing Cyberpunk, and I have a ton of other games I need to play, including Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mhm.
Now I'm fucking playing Fallout New Vegas again. So yeah, I mean that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm thinking about in my free time. Where can I find time to go back and play this more?
I love Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. I love
I
them.
I think they are the best, maybe the best games of all time. And I know there are flaws and everything, but no game has ever sucked me in to its atmosphere like Fallout 3 did. And on Xbox, I at 360, I literally, after completing the game, the game was done 50, 60, 70 hours ago. I could just wander that wasteland. It didn't matter if I had anything to do. I still find the new things I haven't seen before. Just an amazing, amazing piece of art. And I don't like New Vegas as much, but it's more of the same. So it has almost the same allure for me.
I gotta ask you.
Yep.
Where did you keep your cash?
Where did I keep my cash?
So where did you go back to dump all your weapons and all your other stuff? Like you had to have a place.
I think I did several runs. I had one where I kept everything in Megaton, and I had one where I kept everything in Tenpenny Tower. I liked Tenpenny Tower.
Oh, really? I used the grocery store.
Oh, no, I used the actual towns or whatever they designed. It never occurred to me to use a standalone location like Super Duper Mart to do that kind of thing. But don't the Raiders repopulate?
They didn't. Well, they didn't. And then in New Vegas, I found a place. It was a small town, and the reason why I wanted it there was it was a building that was right next to it, had a building with a workbench in it.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Wasn't Liam Neeson? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Liam Neeson played the voice of your father in the first one.
Right.
Honestly, when I go back to replay it, I wish I could skip the entire storyline.
Really,
yeah, just play the game. I just want to be in that world.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Nice.
Dude. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Well, you're still so excited, Kev. What are you playing?
Well, the game, apparently my twin, Hugh here, we're gaming twins. He got me hooked on Far Cry. So I started it over. I think I said last week, started over a little bit more difficult level. I didn't go like to the maximum, kill me plenty level, or whatever the hell it's called. But it's like second one down from the most difficult. But it's easier because I know how to use the skills better. I know how to build better. I immediately built up all my loot sack and weapon carriers and munitions carriers. I immediately built all that stuff up. You got to go hunt. You got to go get all the hides to do all that. Immediately built all that up so I could carry better weapons. And I didn't buy any weapons at all because I knew I was going to get them as I went. So I just dealt with what I had, and a lot more sneaky attacks, a lot more sniping attacks, clear the whole first island before I started, really getting into the storyline. So now I can travel around, do whatever I need to do. So it's a lot more enjoyable the second time through, but it's also a lot easier. But it's a very casual game, so it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Paul, I wanted to let you know, since you were thinking about picking it up, I didn't realize this, but I discovered that I actually have a physical copy of the enhanced edition of Far Cry 3 that you can borrow. It's not digital. So, I mean, if you have a point in time where you actually want to sit down and play it, let me know.
Okay, cool.
You can take it.
Right. And not take like 2 years to actually get through it.
Yeah, well, I'm probably not going to put it back in. So I suppose you probably could, but I would like it back at some point.
At some point, like, hey, you still got my game. It's been a decade, man. So
Wasn't there something that you had in mind for like a really, really long time?
probably, yeah.
He's probably still got it.
I don't remember what it was now.
It was that sandwich you traded him in grade school. He still had that. Like,
was it a Blu-ray copy of Judge Dredd? Was that?
Yes, and it did. It took me forever to get it back to you.
Like years.
Yes.
We're talking Judge Dredd with Stallone.
Do you still have it, Paul?
No.
Yeah.
Or Dredd with Carl Urban?
Or Carl Urban.
Yes.
It would have been so much better if it was Stallone.
Right. I'll just pull it up. Actually, still here.
Which one do you guys like better? The first one or the second one?
Man, that's tough. The second one is more true to the comics, and it's a fantastic movie. I like the first one just for the ridiculousness, but after that, I went back, read comics, listened to all the audio dramas they did with Toby, what's his face, as the voice of Judge Dredd, and yeah, Stallone's movie is nothing like the actual character. But I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It has that when you watch something when you're young, even though it sucks, you still kind of like it. It has that for me. But Carl Urban's is a way better movie.
I think I agree with that. I went and I've recently seen the first one with Stallone in it, and it didn't really hold up for me. I mean, I still enjoyed it, but the kind of also just say inexpensive special effects rather than
the issue there is that Stallone's one of us. I mean, he actually campaigned to play Doctor Who at one point. He is a full-on geek. The problem is it's great that he loves that stuff, but he does not have the acting range to pull any of it off.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how much money you throw at it, how many coaches you get, he's not capable of doing it. And that's okay, as long as he stops trying.
Yeah. He's one of those actors, he's the same guy in every movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
But he does have $3 billion franchises, though. Don't forget.
Well, he's an amazing. I mean, as a businessman or as a business property, he's amazing. The fact that he's still going is testament to what he's done. Fantastic.
Coming out with an Expendables 4 at some point.
I believe
It
it.
is.
And he's
I
part of
hope
the
so.
Guardians of the Galaxy franchise now.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
But
Yep.
moving on, Corbs,
Moving
what
on.
are you playing?
Baseball.
Oh, duh, you got the new game.
That's a new game.
Is it hold up?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, it's there's some new. They've taken some of the old stuff from the old games and incorporated it into the new games. Last year, and I told you guys last year that you immediately were a two-way player. You're a pitcher and a fielder. I didn't like that aspect of it. They didn't even give you a choice. You were just, this is what you're doing. This year, you can do either. You can do pitching or fielding, or you can do a combination. So it gives you three options. So the one thing I miss in it is when you make your character. Used to go to the showcase. They have a show, like a baseball showcase. Used to go down there and get scouted, so you could get drafted higher.
Mm-hmm. Don't do that anymore.
No, they don't do that anymore. It gave you an option. You can, so you're already out of high school at that point, and you can opt to go to college, and it gives you a chance to get a little bit better each time around. So I did like that aspect because you obviously start out with like the lowest possible score. You're like, I think you're like a 40 for an overall type of player, and the highest guy in there I think is like 92 or something like that. So you're like way off. Obviously, you got to start in the minor leagues and work your way up and stuff like that. So, but I like the fact that you could do the showcase and you could kind of hone your skills a little bit, show off a little bit, stuff like that. So they don't do that anymore. Other than that, it's pretty much the same game. It's a good time. So I enjoy playing it.
Nice.
I imagine, and you don't have to explain it to me because I'm not really interested in a baseball game, but I imagine that since you're choosing like fielder or pitcher, like in the old days when you played a baseball game, you pretty much controlled everybody all at once. Now I'm imagining you off in left or right field or something and just sitting there for 9 innings hoping a ball comes your way to do something.
And it used to be like that. Like if you were a fielder, you used to not be able to, like you can skip to when your guy is being the balls hit to your player. But there was a time when you couldn't do that. You had to physically sit through the game and wait for the ball to be hit to you.
And this franchise survived.
Trust me, it was only like a year doing that. That was like the very first year they did it, and I think everybody's like, "Yeah,
Everyone's
no.
like,
No.
no.
Dude, baseball has survived, and that's how you play the actual fucking game.
Okay, this is true too.
That's why you need simulation like beer vendors and all that stuff there. So it's like, come on, I need a beer
Right.
here.
Give me a dog." Yep. Yeah. So, but yeah, you can now it doesn't give you the option. Like last year, you had to click on a button to get to that point. If you didn't, it wouldn't go to the screen like the field, but you would have like the game going in the background. Like you would see like the box score, and it would just go through each player, whatever they did, and you're like, "Oh, I hit the wrong fucking button," because I did it a couple of times. You missed it, and I'm like, "Oh, god damn it! I gotta sit here until I get something gets hit to my player, or I come up to bat again, and then I can hit the button, and then it just skips through. It's like you can literally play 10 games in about 15, 20 minutes at the most.
Nice.
And it cycles through quickly. So I've had it less than a week, and I think I'm already into June for the game.
Nice.
First year into June. So I mean, I'm like, I want to say like 40 games in, and I've only played maybe. Well, obviously, I don't play anything. I did do it at all on Sunday. So 5 days I've played it, and I don't think I played it all yesterday. So 4 days, I think I played 10 games. I played 10 games a day, and I'm on it maybe 15, 20 minutes. So it's not bad. It's nice. I like this. I want to see how fast it progresses. So.
Well, shit. If it's anything like WWE, I mean, I think I played for an hour, and I already had the world title. So.
Nice.
Which brings it to me. I'm still playing 2K22 WWE. I recreated my character. Like Hugh said, you have to recreate your character probably a dozen times in that game, in like every facet of the game. I finally did it in the regular roster mode, and it gives you the option when you do that to upload it so everyone else can have it. So if any of the 4 listeners we have are WWE 2K22 players, you can now play as me. I uploaded it. All you gotta do is use the hashtag GeekPod. You'll find it.
Oh, I'm
That's
totally
cool.
throwing mine up there, and then you and I can kick the shit out of each other, or we could be a
Yes.
tag team.
Right. That's what I was hoping you would do that next.
Absolutely.
But when I remade it, I just called myself The Show because I figured it would be a placeholder. And then when I went back and messed with it, no, it just keeps what you originally put up.
So you're the big show now.
No, I'm a small show. The small show.
Small
So
show.
your miniature show.
It's like a horse and donkey show. It's
That's Kelly.
Your mini show.
oh, that would have been good. I should have went with that.
That's
No, and I realized because I've downloaded a few of the community characters that people have done. I did Danhausen. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Danhausen in pro wrestling. And I noticed they had his name announced. I'm like, there's no way that's in there. So I looked at it, and they used all 3 parts, Danhausen or something like that. So I finally got it. So it kind of says my name. I mean, you have to have like 4 beers and take a blow to the head, and it sounds like it says Paul Showens. So I've actually got my own name, and then I've created some other characters. And just today, I pitted my Paul Showens character against one of the other created characters. So I actually had the opportunity to kick my own ass. It was kind of fun.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Still really digging the game. I finally drained one of the controllers. It went dead on me today while I was playing, so I left it off the charger the whole time I was there in New Jersey and all that. But loving this shit still, and we're gonna kick it to Jack. Jack, what are you playing?
So the last couple of weeks, as you know, I'll take that nickname, the GameCube Kid. But this one actually, was gonna be what's got me geeked, or I was like, you know what, let's move it to what I'm gaming. So this one I'm very excited for. So when I was a kid, Tiger Electronics was a big thing in the 90s. They made handheld games, they made all these sorts of games, and they were so much fun. So without further ado, this is what I'm gaming right now. Did anybody have a 2XL robot?
Wasn't it like Robbie or something when we were kids?
Wow, that looks familiar.
So
Is that
this
the,
was
the one that blows smoke out of its
Yes.
face?
he blinks his red eyes, but then you pick and then you push one of the 4 buttons. So this is pretty cool. Like, it was in the 70s. A doctor by the name of Michael J. Friedman came up with this idea. He wanted kids to use imagination. So this was first based off in the 70s. They used to use 8-track players. So and then they had the robot like that. And then in the 90s, this was from 92 to 1995. They had little cassette tapes, just like this one. And you would put them in your robot, and then you'd pick
Carnival of Crime.
Yep, this is a Batman one, which is pretty badass.
Ooh.
Yep. So this one,
Wow.
like, so you know, when we were kids, you would pick the virtual storybook and like turn right, push to go to page 8, turn left, go to page 4.
Yeah.
This one, you would pick one of the 4 buttons. So with the Carnival of Crime, this is with the Joker, basically. Kevin Conroy is Batman. So this is kind of like a radio play, which is pretty cool. But I also have X-Men ones, Tales from the Crypt. They also have actually adventure. They actually have trivia, like little trivia ones, which are really cool. And yes, he tells you little jokes, and it's for kids. I get it. For ages 4 to 12 years old. I'm 34 and I'm still playing this thing. My mom sold it on me when I was a kid, but now I have it back again. And I have 41 of the 44 tapes ever created. Yes, I went on eBay and I bought it about $800 later.
Jesus.
Wow.
I had to buy this again because I am missing 3 tapes, and those 3 tapes are still out there. But I can say I bought it for $800, but it's now worth over $3,000. But this is my favorite childhood toy when I was a kid. Yeah, like I said, I'm an adult now, but this is really cool though. The Tales from the Crypt one, like, you would literally have his eyes blank. When I was a kid, you would play it in your room and you turn the TV off and push one of these buttons and he'll tell you like a virtual story. It's just pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I played this week. I played a couple of the tapes and it's pretty badass.
You guys realize what we're seeing right here, right? That's Jack's best friend right there.
It is.
And
His
for
name-
that price, that fucker better go everywhere with you.
Is his name Steven?
No, it's Ruben, actually. Yes. He's mine now, Paul. He's not
What are you gonna
yours.
misname his robot now, Kevin?
No, but
Yes,
Oh.
I am.
Does that take the robot now too?
oh yeah. But yeah,
Maybe it's
it's
Jake.
a pretty badass. It could be Jake. No, but it's a pretty badass robot. Like, yes, I'll give it to my kids eventually or something like that. But like,
No, you won't.
it-
With the
probably
price you pay
not.
on there, you're like, fuck you guys. This is mine.
they'll be like, Dad, I want to get the fuck away from my robot.
Don't you touch Jake.
No, but it's pretty badass. Like, because like when you're a kid, like if your parents like sell something on you, you're like, what the fuck, man? But like literally, I just went on eBay one night. My friend's like, it's your favorite childhood toy. Just pull the trigger. And I have a seller that I buy the tapes from, and he gave me a good deal, I guess. So whatever.
That night you went on eBay. Were you drinking?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Not
did.
there's anything wrong with it. Just I
No.
figured.
No, but I woke up the next morning, of course, and I was like, $850? What the fuck did I
What the
buy?
fuck did I do?
Yes, but it's awesome though. It's priceless though. It's pretty cool. That's what I'm gaming this week.
Online drunkenness can be bad. I remember when I was in the heyday of playing Star Wars Galaxies. If you guys don't know what that is, it was basically like a Star Wars version of World of Warcraft. Open world, took place during like the original trilogy. The whole deal. I'd progressed in it pretty good, and we were pretty affluent. We had our own like huge guild, and we were pulling in all sorts of money because I had the novel idea of creating a quote unquote nightclub on Tatooine, and people actually came to it. It was a whole thing. Well, one night I got ham boned, wasted, and apparently spent half the credits I had just goofing off in the cantina. I was buying people speeders, and the next day I was like, holy shit. So
are you sure you weren't making a bar? Or you made like a brothel, like Paul's Harry brothel or something like that?
I mean, some of that we don't talk about. We don't need the
True.
empire catching on.
No, we don't. This is the way.
This is the way.
The first rule of Galaxy is don't talk about Galaxy.
Don't talk about brothels. All right. So I think it's a perfect time to head into Kev's tabletop review.
And I got something for you tonight that is an oldie but a goodie. And there's a very specific reason why I've chosen this. Now, let's see here. I'm going to change this around. So the game I have for you tonight, and I'm going to say, if I'm pretty sure at least 80% of the people on this podcast right now play this. But the game I have for you is called Yahtzee.
Mine doesn't look like that.
Now,
Yeah,
this
No.
is the deluxe version. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of history about why I like Yahtzee, and then I'm going to tell you what I found out. So the wife and I have always liked different kinds of games. We've liked Yahtzee. We've liked different kinds of card games and dice games. We've always had a lot of fun since we first got together, just playing with friends or just her and I sitting on the couch. Maybe didn't want to watch a movie or didn't want to watch TV. We just get the Yahtzee out and we play it. One day she came home with the deluxe set, which is what I have here. Has a little tray inside of it, so you have a nice hard surface regardless of where you want to play. Has nice dice in there, five marble type dice, and it came with very nice scorecards. Now, what I found out recently, so there's a history with me and the wife and Yahtzee. We have portable Yahtzee. We have all these different Yahtzee games. We played electronic Yahtzee where we played on our phones against each other different ways. So there's a history there. So it's near and dear to my heart, and it's something we've always had and we'll always have. We play it with friends and family, etc. What I found out recently on BoardGameGeek.com, if you search for Yahtzee, you will find many, many, many different versions. One of the really cool ones I found, I got to figure out where I left that. Oh, here it is. One of the really cool ones I found, and if I gotta go back here to images. Is it images? Where I want. So, according to BoardGameGeek.com, this game goes back to 1956 is when the first Yahtzee game came out. And you really don't need anything more than an understanding of what the rules are and what the different categories are and 5 dice, and you can play Yahtzee. You don't need to buy a game. You don't need to buy scorecards. You can go find the scorecards online if you really, really wanted to figure out exactly what they look like. And you can play 2 players up to 10 players if you want it. We typically play 4 teams or 4 players at the most, and it just tends to work out that way. But the really cool thing I found was that there's these different versions, and not only do the different versions give you a different look and feel for the game, but they also give you different ways to score. So it's just a really, really neat twist on Yahtzee. One of the really cool ones I found was a Firefly version. You know the TV series, right? Firefly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So there's a geek version out there for all of us. Whether it's Firefly or Star Wars or Star Trek or whatever you're into, there's a different version out there. So Yahtzee, it's fun, it's portable, it's very, very portable. I've got I've got scorecards in here. I was looking inside the box. I've got scorecards in here that go back to, I don't even know. We never put the year on the cards. You know, this is something that even has a little dice cup.
Fancy cup.
You know, yeah, little fancy cup, you know, and it's felt lined, of course. But I mean, there's scorecards in here, you know, that go back. I don't even know how far. And this is like one of many games that we've had. But this is the pad that it comes with. It's got a few left on it. But yeah, and then this is the tray that comes with. So there's a little tray.
Oh, cool.
Yep. And inside there is the dice. But yeah, so I've had this obviously in the cupboard, and I thought about talking about it a couple times, but tonight I wanted to highlight it because sometimes a board game or a tabletop game isn't necessarily what you go and find. It might just be what you already have. So if you've got a few dice in the drawer and you're really not sure about the rules, just do a quick little search, and you could make your own scorecards. And in just a few minutes, you'd have a fun game that everybody can play. Everybody can play. It's got a little bit of strategy to it. It's got a little bit of luck to it. And you know what? You could probably even find a way to make it a drinking game.
Let's test that theory this summer, since I have giant Yahtzee. I have Yahtzee, so we can do that this summer.
Fuck yeah, Hoser.
Oh,
I built a big Jenga set. I'll bring that as well.
I already have one.
Nice.
Dude,
Big games. You need a big Connect 4.
Oh, fuck
I
yeah.
have that too.
Oh, we can turn these into drinking games. This is gonna be good.
Yes.
I want a death-defying Jenga game. That's what I want. Where if you lose, you lose your life.
You get stabbed.
No, the whole thing falls on you and you die.
I mean, that could
geez.
happen anyway. Yeah.
When I was at Turning Stone this past weekend, we did Jenga, but like every time I had a dare on that. But that's for off camera. With those dares I had to do.
Okay.
Are you bringing that with you to California?
No, I don't think that would fit in the bag for California. No, but we can find a bar if you're up for it. I can definitely show you a couple bars there.
Fuck yeah, Hoser.
My friend lives there. I told you, like I've been there a couple times. We've been
Good.
it's good.
That'll work. Works for me.
Cool.
All right. Sounds like it's a good time to throw it to break here. Guys, stick with us and we'll be back with the news. The 4th annual Sci-Fi Horror Fest is coming with an all-new location, new guests, and all the same fun, charm, and camaraderie that you've come to know and love. Sci-Fi Horror Fest has a new home for 2022 at the Vernon Downs Casino and Hotel in Vernon, New York. Sci-Fi Horror Fest will be held on August 26th and 27th. Sci-Fi Horror Fest is a family-friendly event featuring fun activities, vendors, and a media area with an eclectic group of podcast personalities. Exciting celebrity guest appearances will be announced soon. For more information and to purchase tickets, go to www.sci-fi-horrorfest.com. Sci-Fi Horror Fest is currently looking for volunteers. This is your chance to be a part of the fun. Please note, details of the event are subject to change due to any lasting issues due to COVID-19. Looking for the hottest new comic on the shelf or a keyback issue to complete your run? How about that rare statue or action figure that you've scoured the internet looking for? Come to Collectibles Galore. Located in North Syracuse with ample off-street parking, Collectibles Galore has a huge selection of comics, toys, and rare pop culture items you won't find anywhere else. Comics Galore is always buying comics and toys and will give you the fairest price for your collection. New customers get 15% off their first purchase in store. Collectibles Galore for all of your pop culture needs. Stop in and see for yourself why Collectibles Galore is the king of comics.
Now, before you get the stop, up and down look, and gaze of disgust from a black man at the mall who sees your white self holding your black wife's hand at a food court table, here's the news. I think I've actually been racially profiled. I never thought I would get to say that. First up, can we talk about this now, Paul? While we have skirted around the infamous Will Smith slap at the Oscars, many Hollywood elite have suggested that they are still triggered and dealing with the trauma of the event. Triggered and traumatized. It was a slap. Basically a one-sided girl fight that lasted all of 15 seconds. For fuck's sake, you all make millions to play pretend and be adored by the public. By all rights, you should be able to handle more trauma than the average citizen who's been brutalized by plebeian life. You want to be traumatized by a fight? Try spending a Saturday night at a bar in Altmar or Camden. Closed fists, blood and broken beer bottles. Everyone breaks up. They all drunkenly fuck each other's significant others for revenge. And by Sunday afternoon, all is forgiven. All the couples are back together. And the guys are drinking beers around a burn barrel while the women folk make baked ziti and share stories about which guy has the biggest or weirdest dick. There's been even more traumatic fights on 90 Day Fiance. Stop being so dramatic. Shaquille O'Neal said this week that he believes 4 out of 10 guys would have done the same thing. I wager that number's a bit higher. Chris Rock is lucky Jada's boyfriend didn't follow Will up there and slap him too. Next up, the wrong kind of liquor. The Johnny Depp Amber Heard defamation trial got underway this week with a surprise claim. Heard's lawyers are claiming that Depp sexually assaulted her with a liquor bottle while blackout drunk. His claim is new, as she had only said she was a victim of sexual assault in an op-ed piece she wrote after Depp began suing her for defamation. I got it that time. These details are coming to light for the first time here in this trial. Now, there is much more complexity to this story, and anyone who questions it online is being greeted with, found the person who doesn't believe women. This is challenging because Depp is a beloved actor, and it's easy to see how some would cover their eyes and ears about this. But on the other hand, there are a ton of facts and documented instances that support his claim. Looking over the full history of this, including recorded phone calls where Heard basically says no one will believe she abused him because he's bigger than her, this entire situation feels off to me. The other trendy thing to say is that they were both abusers, but I think that lets you off the hook for having to look at the evidence and choose where you stand. We're also afraid of being canceled. We've turned into a nation of cowards. The bottom line here is both sides are telling a story that could potentially be true. One side has more actual evidence, but that may not matter because the other is also a Me Too icon. What I hope to see in this trial is Heard is able to provide the same level of evidence to support her story. If she can't, and she's revealed to be a crazy liar, it could irreparably harm Aquaman 2, which is all that really matters here. I'm totally getting canceled for that bit, though, aren't I? I mean, it was this or the New York City subway attack, and I figured that's not something that should really be joked about right now. All I got to say is never leave your car keys at the scene of the crime. I mean, the witnesses said it was a tall black guy in an orange construction vest. He could hide in plain sight anywhere in the city. How are you going to find a specific tall black man who works construction in New York City? If that's all they had, they never would have identified him. But I didn't actually say any of that. And finally, in memoriam, beloved comic Gilbert Gottfried has passed away at age 67. Known for playing a cartoon parrot, the Aflac duck, and so many masturbation jokes at the 43rd Primetime Emmys that the West Coast feed had to be censored. Wait, why was he beloved? He also starred in the amazing Live Sea Monkeys show in 1992. I can't even wrap my head around how this is a real thing. Looked it up on YouTube. Holy shit, is it bad? He's also known as the first comic to make a 9/11 joke 3 weeks after 9/11. Also fired from Aflac after tweeting 12 jokes about the Japanese earthquake disaster.
Rapid fire.
Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ. Why do we like this again? He seems like a real asshole and sounds like a lawnmower gargling a big bag of dicks. Never the fuck mind. You all right there, Paul?
Well, he did get slapped by the Will Smith of life. Now let's just get over it. I mean,
Yeah. And that's the news, kids. Now I have to go do some digging to answer a burning question. My daughter's dentist is at that new build over in Fayetteville. The waiting room is fantastic with a giant octopus, a pirate ship playhouse bigger than my dining room, and an actual arcade filled with one-up arcade machines. This place is awesome. However, there is a sign next to the doorway where you go to pay that says pedo reception. Let that sink in. pedo reception.
What?
I don't care how badly you need to see our insurance cards. I am not walking in that room, even if Gilbert Gottfried is running up behind me with a chainmail dildo, screaming like the horny Aflac duck he clearly was. Perception is everything. Like anyone will believe I was just updating our dental insurance information. Paul?
In other news, Babe Ruth wore a cabbage leaf under his cap to keep himself cool. He changed it every 2 innings. Back to you, Corbs.
What?
I did not know that. Did not know that at all.
In all fairness, we don't know that these things Paul says are true.
Paul doesn't know if these things are true. So
All right.
but I don't make them up. I'll give you that.
So who makes them up?
Randomfactgenerator.com.
There you go. I've been there.
I know it was a 2-week thing. Yeah.
It was. Sorry. So
Corbs has no idea where he is right now.
sorry.
Oh, geez.
Dark flashbacks.
Professionals here.
What are you doing over there, Corbs?
Wait. Paul, did you think I was doing the other movie, the first movie that I sent you? Or the
You only
second
sent
movie?
me one.
I sent you 2, damn it. Damn you. That's all right.
I don't even believe you. There's a movie called Shit.
No, not that one, you jerk off. Look at your text
Oh,
message.
motherfucker.
That's all right. All
Yeah. I didn't see that second text.
right, that's fine. I'll do the first one. I'll do this one next time.
Okay.
So this one I'm gonna have to do from memory because, well, it's just about.
Because you're not
Babe, really.
prepared.
I'm not prepared. I was gonna do the other movie. So I'm gonna do the Babe to go in line with
The one about the
Cabbage.
pig.
Yeah, the one about the pig. So it's a biopic about George Herman Ruth, better known as the Sultan of SWAT, the Babe. It chronicles his life from
Cabbage had himself.
Cabbage had himself. It chronicles his whole life. It starts out from when he was abandoned as a baby, showed promise as a baseball player at a young age. From when he was drafted by the Boston Red Sox, or signed by the Red Sox. I shouldn't say drafted, signed by the Red Sox. To when he was traded to the Yankees, when he became, the Babe, basically became the greatest baseball player of a generation. Held the home run record for the longest time. Chronicles his life as a womanizer, all this stuff. I mean, it's a good movie. Drunk, yeah. How baseball kind of shunned him towards the end, which is kind of sad if you watch the movie. He's dying and whatnot. So it's just it's a touching movie. It gives a little look into a whole bunch of aspects of his life, which I kind of like. As you guys know, I'm a baseball freak to the end. So any type of baseball movie I watch. I don't watch. I'm not saying I watch this one religiously, but when it's on, I turn it on for bits and pieces of it, stuff like that. So John Goodman is fantastic in it. He plays the Babe. A couple other actors that Kelly McGillis is in it. I think it's Kelly McGillis.
In a lot of baseball movies.
Yeah. So it's just a good movie. All in all, it's a good movie. Like I said, I mean, I'm not going to watch it. If I see it on, I may turn it on to watch for a little bit. I'm not like sitting in front of it. I watched Bull Durham this week like 3 times because you can't go wrong with Bull Durham.
This is true.
So, but I mean, The Babe's a good movie. It's I give it like 2.5 stars. So maybe even 3. Give me Goodman is very good as the Babe in it. So
What's really cool about that, though, Corbs, you probably know this because when Babe Ruth was traded to the Yankees, do you know what he was traded for? One of the big things.
I had a cabbage.
bag of balls or something.
to the playwrights of No Nanette. So like he was traded for that and some more money and all that. And it's pretty cool. Like you're right. Like John Goodman plays that to the T, and we've all seen that when we were kids. It's a classic.
Yeah. Hugh hasn't. I'm sure Kevin has if he was not looking down.
All right. Well, our good friend Roger Ebert, he did watch this. And he reviewed it on April 17th, 1992. And he had this to say. Say it ain't so, babe. Say you weren't a sad, tortured person who just happened to be able to slam homers out of the park better than anyone else. Say this movie is all a lie, and you were indeed a glorious American hero, the grandest of all the boys of summer, and that it was a great fun, at least sometimes, to be the most famous baseball hero of all time. Let us believe we need our heroes. But The Babe doesn't give us one. Apart from being a bad film in the first place, aside from being superficially written, aside from being shot with little sense of time or place, the movie portrays Babe Ruth as a man almost completely lacking in the ability to have or to provide happiness. Spending these 115 minutes with the Babe is a little like being jammed into the window seat on a long-distance bus next to a big guy with beer and cigars on his breath, and nothing to talk about but his next meal and his last broad. Babe Ruth comes across as a pathetic orphan lacking in all social graces who grew up into a self-destructive bore and hit a lot of home runs in the process. And then, in the end, when time caught up with him, he never got the message and almost destroyed the myth that had grown up around him. Wow. No matter how many homers he hit, Ruth would have never become a great American hero in the television age. On the radio and in the newspapers, maybe he came across as quite a guy. But to see and hear him, at least as he is portrayed in the movie, is to cringe. After the magical innocence of baseball as painted in Field of Dreams, after life-affirming Bull Durham, here is a baseball trading card that looks like it was found in the gutter. Oof. The fault is not John Goodman's. He plays the Babe as written. You can see watching this movie that he could have played a lot of other sides of Babe Ruth and made them work. But John Fusco's screenplay doesn't seem to like Babe very much. It shows him as an overgrown, recalcitrant kid who had one skill. He could hit the ball. And then it shows him growing up into a human pig who wenched and cheated on those who loved him, who was drunk during many of his games, who was small-minded and jealous, who wasn't much of a team player, who lost his temper and screamed at the fans, and whose little trot around the bases looked like the gait of a constipated alderman. Much has been made of the movie's use of Wrigley Field and a ballpark in Danville. They're supposed to recreate the look of the Diamonds of Ruth's Day, but the movie seems to keep showing us the same two parks while giving us subtitles trying to convince us we're in Baltimore or Boston. There don't seem to be many fans in the stands. That's horrible grammar. There is no sense here of baseball, no smell of peanuts, and roar of the crowd. Babe's first wife, played by Trini Alvarado, is a nice girl who finally can't stand the reports of Babe's raids on the brothels and his demands for 3 girls at a time. God bless him. The second wife, a Ziegfeld Follies girl played by Kelly McGillis, has been around the block a few times and is less easily shocked. She stays with the Babe, but more out of loyalty and stubbornness, we sense, than because of love. Her loyalty is more than organized baseball can muster. Ruth is paid well and tolerated by the Yankees as long as he's hitting. But when his legs and eyes start to go, there's no love lost between them and no sense of loyalty. He ends up in Boston, where his final days are portrayed as a mixture of shame, anticlimax, and betrayal. The famous high points are here. The dying kid in the hospital, who Ruth promises he'll hit 2 home runs in the next game for. The called shot in the World Series, the home run record that has never been beaten, except by a footnote. But at the end of the movie, when we're thoroughly depressed anyway, do we really need that maudlin scene where a young man follows Ruth off the field after his final game, introduces himself as the kid whose life was saved by those 2 homers, and gives back the ball that Babe autographed beside the hospital bed. Talk about shameless.
I think he liked it.
He loved this movie, clearly.
Well, if I ever want to kill myself, I guess I'll watch that movie. Otherwise, I don't think I need to see it.
I've seen it. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
It just sounds like a series of down endings.
It's like what Corbs said, though. If it's on, I'll watch it. But if I'm not going to like go out of my way and be like, oh, I got to watch The Babe tonight.
Yeah.
I don't remember being that depressed by it. I mean,
I don't know that I've actually ever seen this movie all the way through. Maybe that's why I didn't think it was so depressing.
correct me if I'm wrong. He was not a very well educated man. He was what you would consider. He was what you would consider a
rube.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't very educated. Like he said, he had one skill. He could play baseball. He could hit the ball farther than anybody else could.
So then I mean, the rest of his life kind of makes sense. I mean, he didn't have the skills to know what to do with his success.
Right.
There you go.
Corbs, tell me if I'm right or wrong, but did
You're
he
wrong.
want to be like I know I'm wrong. He wanted to be a pitcher though, right? At first.
He
and then-
started as a pitcher, didn't he?
Started as a pitcher. He was actually the first two-way player. He pitched and played. He pitched and played in the outfield for the Red Sox.
Right.
And then when he got traded to the Yankees, he was just strictly an outfielder. I think he pitched a little bit, but not. I mean, when he was with Boston, he pitched like every third or fourth day.
Yeah, they depended on him.
Yeah. So, but when he went to the Yankees, he became an outfielder and a hitter. So.
Yeah, because in that Babe movie, I remember like he was like at a Boston party, he like belched or something like that, and they were all like, "Oh my God, you're so not educated and all that." He did that when he went to New York and Jumping Joe. They all like just drank and then they just raged every single night.
Yep.
Sounds like the Yankees.
Sounds like every sports ball player I've ever known.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we did before games. We played football.
We did that during games.
Well, yeah, you come off the field, you pound a beer. Yeah. I because I was scrambling, I didn't see how many stars Raj gave this, but I'm sure it's not a lot.
Probably gave it a 1.5 or something.
And I apologize for the voice. That was a struggle getting through that one. Sorry, guys. But
I'm not going to forgive you.
Glad you apologize. What's next?
How are we doing for time? Why don't we throw it to Jack for his erroneous questions of the week?
Oh.
All right. So everybody work together and then have one person decide the final answer. That's how we'll do these. All right. So I went to college and I was a history major in college, and I have a strong fascination for history. So your first question of the night is the commander-in-chief, the president of the United States. We've had, I'll give you a hint. We've had 4 presidents assassinated. Name those 4 presidents.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm no help.
Lincoln, Kennedy.
Lincoln and Kennedy. Yep.
That's the first and the 4th one. So yes, you got 2.
Oh, there's 2 in between. No idea.
I'll give you a hint.
Can we add in ones that should have been?
No.
Or no?
No. Think of a comic strip.
Garfield.
Yeah.
Garfield, James Garfield. He was number 2.
Really?
So
He was assassinated.
in 1880. Yes. So now, who was the 3rd president? This president actually was assassinated in Buffalo, New York, and Teddy Roosevelt took over for him.
Wow, no idea.
No Googling.
No Googling.
I don't even know how to get to my keyboard.
He was giving his speech, and then somebody stuck a gun in his chest, and they shot him.
Wow.
Wow.
Grover Cleveland.
No.
I'm just trying to come up with a lesser known.
He's the only president to serve 2 terms, but not consecutive.
Corbs is known in his history tonight.
Look at this
Yes.
shit.
Nice.
Dude, I went to ITT with you. Where the fuck was that kind of knowledge then?
I love it.
All I knew then was fucking BK breakfast sandwiches and OJ.
No idea. Who was it?
And Tully's after school.
So Abraham Lincoln was assassinated in 1865. You got it. James Garfield was assassinated in 1880. You got it. And John F. Kennedy was assassinated in 1963. You got it. But in 1900 or 1901, I forget the year specifically, I believe it's one of those two, was William McKinley.
Oh, McKinley was assassinated. No shit.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Wait a minute.
Yep.
I should have known that. Wasn't it John Hughes's movies all take place in McKinley High?
Ouch. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. All right.
Breakfast Club and all that shit.
Oh, yeah. So,
All right, let's
All
see if
right,
we can
why-
redeem ourselves with the second one.
What?
all right.
What?
Work together on this one. Come on. If
Jack's
you don't
gonna
get
hurt
this,
us with these weekly. You realize this, right?
you should get this one. I will be
That's
shocked
the
if you don't
idea.
get
To make
this
us all look like idiots.
I'm okay with
No.
this.
Don't have to look.
I do that weekly anyway.
This one you should get. If you don't get this one, I'll be really shocked. And Hugh, they're gonna need your help on this one.
Prepare to be shocked.
So I'm not gonna call it the WWE. We're gonna go to the WWF Attitude Era.
Attitude Era.
Okay.
As we know, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, and SummerSlam are the big those Survivor Series. Those are big events. But in the 1990s, King of the Ring was one of the most famous pay-per-views in June. And in 1996, Stone Cold Steve Austin won the King of the Ring. 1997, Triple H won King of the Ring. But I want in 1998, who was in the finals of the 1998 King of the Ring, who won it, and who was the opponent that lost. So who won the 1998 King of the Ring, and what was the final match?
Although given the time frame,
That's what I was trying to
I would
do.
think Owen Hart would be involved. Maybe. I'm trying to remember if that's before or after he died. I know he was King of the Ring once, right?
He died in 99.
He died in 99, so he wasn't
No
involved, but
Mercy.
he was. Nope, that was Over the Edge.
No, I'm pretty sure it was No Mercy where he died.
I thought
Because-
it was the.
Over the
thought it was
edge
Over
would
the
be
Edge.
way too on the nose.
Oh, that's so dark. I have to look that up, but it's a pay-per-view that's never been released. But
Yeah, I
that's
know.
another story.
I saw it
But
live.
yeah, I did too. I was like, oh my god, what am I watching?
Over the
but-
edge.
But anyway,
Oh, I got it right.
that's
Damn.
Mm,
Over the edge. I just looked it up.
okay.
Oh, all right. But who was the finals of the King of the Ring in 1998?
98.
This was This was the Mankind versus Undertaker, Hell in the Cell, and Stone Cold faced Kane in the first blood match. But who was the finals of the 1998 King of the Ring? Come on, y'all. You got this.
No, we really don't.
I'm gonna
Really?
say it was The Rock winning it, and his opponent was
Hornswoggle.
Hornswoggle.
was Booger Bastion.
Is that your final answer?
Because I have no fucking clue. Yes.
Do you guys want to take Paul on his final answer?
Don't, because Booger Bastion
No
has never
idea.
main evented anything.
Okay, so you are half kind of right. So The Rock was in the finals, but he lost
Oh,
because they were trying to push this one because he was in the corporation. The former UFC fighter, Ken Shamrock.
okay. Do we
Ken Sham-
get any
What?
points for being partially right for having him there?
Nope.
Fuck no,
Good.
fuck no. You
I
guys
agree
are
with
0
Kev
for
on
3.
that. Yeah.
You're 0 for 3 on Jack's Erroneous Trivia Questions of the Week. So till next week.
Wah, wah, wah. I don't know why I did that. I can dub that in. We have that sound. Fuck.
There you
Please
go.
do.
All right. Well, I think thank you, Jack. I actually really like this segment
Yeah.
because we suck.
Corbs did great tonight with his trivia. I'm impressed.
Just send it to Tully's. Give him the giant nachos.
Can you remember going there with fucking Wiggins, man?
That name should never be mentioned again.
I'm just saying. Used to go there. Remember he couldn't sit with his back facing the door.
Yes, that's a military thing. I get it.
I get it too.
I'd like to pick on him for it because I really fucking have a problem with him now, but I can't. I get it.
Yeah.
But anyway, before this gets any darker, why don't we throw it to commercial and we'll come back and wrap this thing up? What do you guys say?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, stick
Perfect.
with us, guys. The fourth annual Sci-Fi Horror Fest is coming with an all-new location, new guests, and all the same fun, charm, and camaraderie that you've come to know and love. Sci-Fi Horror Fest has a new home for 2022 at the Vernon Downs Casino and Hotel in Vernon, New York. Sci-Fi Horror Fest will be held on August 26th and 27th. Sci-Fi Horror Fest is a family-friendly event featuring fun activities, vendors, and a media area with an eclectic group of podcast personalities. Exciting celebrity guest appearances will be announced soon. For more information and to purchase tickets, go to www.sci-fi-horrorfest.com. Sci-Fi Horror Fest is currently looking for volunteers. This is your chance to be a part of the fun. Please note, details of the event are subject to change due to any lasting issues due to COVID-19. Looking for the hottest new comic on the shelf or a keyback issue to complete your run? How about that rare statue or action figure that you've scoured the internet looking for? Come to Collectibles Galore, located in North Syracuse with ample off-street parking. Collectibles Galore has a huge selection of comics, toys, and rare pop culture items you won't find anywhere else. Comics Galore is always buying comics and toys and will give you the fairest price for your collection. New customers get 15% off their first purchase in store. Collectibles Galore for all of your pop culture needs. Stop in and see for yourself why Collectibles Galore is the king of comics. All right, guys. So this week's weekly topic. Who throws the better party? The Avengers or the Justice League? And tell me why.
Duh.
Nah, it's not as easy as you think.
The Avengers, because Tony Stark.
No, that is not an appropriate answer.
Because shawarma.
Okay, shawarma, I'll take.
Shawarma.
Because the rich guy.
Have
in
you
the
had
Justice
shawarma?
League-
There's a great place right down the street.
Shawarma, bitch.
The rich guy in the Justice League doesn't know how to have fun. Superman doesn't know how to have fun. Green Lantern and Flash might be okay, but I'm guessing Diana isn't getting drunk and dropping her top up on the bar. So I just think Avengers would be a more fun party.
I would have to agree with that. Although I do think that Bruce Wayne is well practiced at being a playboy. That's the whole
Right.
face he puts on. So he might actually be able to throw a good party. But
It's
it's
a false face, though. It's a false face.
it's one that he's well practiced with.
Fuck that. Tony Stark lives that shit. So
I agree with
bite
that.
it, bitch.
Corbs.
Corbs, go ahead.
All right. So I got a question. Are we talking Michael Keaton Batman? Are we talking Christian Bale Batman? We talking
We're not. We're
Ben
talking
Affleck?
comic
Oh
books.
shit. Oh yeah, comic books. So it's just Batman.
Because
Batman.
I know
doesn't
where
matter.
Corbs is going with this, though, because the Michael Keaton Batman was a different twist.
Yeah.
That was a twist on a very old
And
Batman.
Christian Bale was kind of like the recluse type of partier. I mean, the scene where he jumps in the fountain with the two chicks and all that stuff. I mean, I think
That was Bale.
offense,
Yeah.
I'm thinking Christian Bale is having a pretty good parties at times. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well,
And then-
you got to think
and
about
there's-
it.
And then there's Affleck, who just kind of is like, oh well, whatever. I'm rich and deal with it.
Machine
still
gun
want-
murdering crooks. Yeah.
I still want to go to the party with fucking Black Widow and fucking Iron Man and Spider-Man. That's where I want to be.
I agree with
and,
that.
and that's where we get an unfair advantage, is because we got to see exactly the kind of parties the Avengers throw.
Well,
and
yeah, you're-
Thor. Come on.
Yeah.
Yes. With the-
Oh my
Well, yeah,
God. Yeah.
But think about it this way, like the easy answer, yes, it's the Avengers. You're hitting all the top points. Like you get to party with them and all that stuff. But like if you're gonna be with Bruce Wayne, if you're going comic book Batman, you can do whatever the fuck you want because he does not give a shit. So it's your own place. You're in control of that party. Hugh, is everything you said, like you don't know which one you're gonna get, but you can bring whoever you want. But if you want to rage with people, you're going Marvel because you're gonna be
Yeah.
with the Hulk, you're gonna be with Black Widow, you're gonna be climbing walls with Spider-Man. If you're with the Justice League, it's going to be an emo type party. It's going to be very draw, it's going to be like, yeah, we're so
Every
cool.
single one of us is going to get the taste slapped out of our mouth by Wonder Woman because you'll say something
Yeah.
to defend her.
Right.
Oh yeah, but
Even-
that's okay. She can throw me through a wall, so that would be fine.
Even in Titans, they never really had a good time because somebody always had to be the fucking downer.
You're not wrong. And I would have to say I agree with that. I think it's going to be a much more enjoyable time hanging out with Tony Stark and his crew.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love to fucking bang all night long with Hawk. That mofo, he knew how to go.
Okay.
You might want to rephrase the way you said that. I'm just saying.
But I too would like to.
Hey,
I
have
would
you
like to
seen him
party with
without his
Hawk
shirt
enough.
on? I gotta tell you.
However, though, if you
got
do
weird.
if you do Justice League, though, you'll have Alfred there, and Alfred's pretty awesome. He'll be like a good wingman. Like, oh, and he'll be, oh, did you meet my friend Paul, or did you meet my friend Hugh, or did you meet my friend Corbs or Kev? Like, Alfred's awesome. Alfred can like literally get whatever you want. Do you need a condom, sir? He'll get you whatever you need. He'll literally give you Bruce Wayne's room. Oh, Bruce isn't going to be home tonight. Can I get you some drinks for your girl? I'm like, yeah, Alfred, just keep feeding me whatever I need. Alfred will do whatever you want.
That's
Alfred,
funny shit.
But yeah, you want to do a boat race, you're going to be with the Avengers. But if you're just going to want to have any kind of party you want, go with the Justice League. And if you want to party with them, they'll be like, yeah, I don't know if I can drink that. I'm like, oh, fuck you. I don't know what to do.
The JLA probably throws a pretty good wake, though.
Yeah, that we've seen too.
Yeah, they know all about saying goodbye to friends that are going to come back in a later episode.
While we're on the topic, I almost forgot to bring this up. Our good buddy Al has weighed in from 2 episodes ago, and he's questioning one of the ads. Hugh,
Which one?
the Grant
it's the-
Morrison.
It's about the heavy metal thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay. Grant Morrison was the editor of heavy metal at one
Okay.
point. I did actually mean death metal. He's right. I did not call out what I intended to call out, but it still works because he was an editor of Heavy Metal Magazine.
no, you did call it death metal, actually.
Oh, did I?
Yes, and he's
Oh.
questioning that.
I there was some confusion there because I know that he was involved in creating that whole metal universe. And I went trying to look and figure out which ones he was directly involved in. I think Death Metal was actually the sequel, which wasn't written by him. He wrote the first one, but it was too late. We'd already recorded before I realized it. So
Gotcha.
you're exactly right. And I knew it. And there's no point in calling out my own mistakes publicly for the 4 people that listen. So
5, because apparently he's listening too.
oh, that's right.
So he may
World you don't
also
know about.
he may also have dropped a Simpsons meme with humor with a Homer yelling out of the car, "Nerd." So moving on though, guys, what you watching?
TV.
Did anyone see Dead in the Water?
What's that?
It's the mini webisode series for The Walking Dead. We've
Did
been
it start?
promised
I
for
saw the
ages.
ad for it.
It already
Shit.
came out last week. It's available. For whatever reason, they just packaged it into one 42-minute episode. I mean, I think that you can still watch the individual ones, but It's like 42 minutes long. Since no one's watched it, I'm not gonna like go into any details. I mean, it's not like you're gonna learn a little bit new, but it doesn't answer the question you want it to, Kevin. And that pissed me off. I'm like waiting, and they didn't. They showed you everything but how that fucking sub got there.
So what's the sense?
Well, they show the story of what happened on the sub, and then the one guy who was with what's his face with Teddy, who was on the sub, how he got out. But they just once he escapes, they don't ever show how the sub ended up, that far inland.
Oh,
that sucks.
I mean, you already know that character's getting out because he appeared, chronologically after that.
Right.
Not gonna tell you anything else, but it was good.
Good.
Oh, okay. I'll check it out.
No, I definitely enjoyed that. Was there anything else? I swear I thought there was. Well, I know everyone's watching The Walking Dead. You've all seen the mid-season finale. What the fuck is Hornsby suddenly Two-Face all of a sudden? I mean,
flipping the coin, right?
Yeah. I was like, what is that even necessary? I mean, the guy could just make a decision. I really don't feel like that added anything.
It didn't.
No.
It was just weird. It stood
I
out.
wasn't impressed.
But I think
No.
it's showing him further slipping away from reality. I mean, not that where he's at is reality anyway, but they're showing him, we knew from the very beginning there's no way this guy could ever manage any sort of power whatsoever. That's all he's ever wanted. So now he's got a little bit of it, and he's exercising it in a way that's completely inappropriate. So that's exactly who he is.
It would be pretty cool, like, because you saw that for the last part of the season with and cool, the like Hornsby is like literally like going on a tear. There's no hope, and bam, there comes Rick Grimes. He like kills Hornsby or something. We need something big to happen. Like, this is a good time for Grimes to come back, but we know it probably won't be till like the second to last, or if not the last episode, unfortunately.
Did you all see the trailer for the last half or last third of the season?
Yeah.
Daryl holding Rick's gun.
Yeah.
Nice. No, I didn't see that.
You missed
I
it.
don't,
you
know if I don't know if I saw that.
Did you watch
That
that
was-
episode?
Yes.
Yeah,
I must have missed that.
No,
It was
the
in the
trailer,
teaser.
not the episode. The teaser
Yeah,
trailer.
it was the trailer, the teaser trailer for the second half, the final third, I should
Final
say.
third. Yeah.
Go online. You can find it online.
I just
I'm gonna
thought it
have
was
to rewatch
amazing.
it.
I thought it was amazing that Daryl killed Leah.
Yeah.
that
Without
was
a
bad.
thought. That was awesome.
Really, I mean, I had a feeling that he was going to find her, that he was going to be the one to find her. What, in her mid hunt of Maggie, I did not think that he was going to find her embroiled in a struggle with Maggie. But I am not even a little bit surprised who he chose in that battle.
Agreed.
Right.
But I know when that first happened, I was like, holy shit, he shot her.
Yep.
I'm definitely going to predict for sure, like, because in the first episode of the last part of the season, because you see Negan's married now,
Yeah.
she's going to die. She's going to die because because you have the spin-off show with Maggie and Negan. Like, I feel like she's going to die or something like that. You're going to see something like that. And like Negan's going to depend on Maggie.
Maybe he's going to New York City to get formula for the baby.
Maybe.
Maybe. You never know.
Negan's turned over a new leaf. Maggie even said so.
Yeah.
No, they definitely
yeah.
they definitely set that
Yeah.
up.
Oh, yeah. What's a really good, do you guys have Apple Plus? Let me ask you that question.
No.
So my parents gave me their account. What I watched this past weekend was really good. It was one.
You watched it? You watched it with them, right? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's what he means. Yeah.
I mean, actually, yeah, I did. Unfortunately, yeah. I did. But it's a movie called Coda. Did you guys see this?
I've heard about this movie. Yes.
What about it? It won a freaking Academy Award.
This movie was pretty interesting. It was about a girl that has a dream. She wants to go into music, and her whole family's deaf. Her mother, her father, her brother, and they're fishermen. So it's Marlee Matlin's the big name in it. She's the mother. But watching this movie, though, it's pretty funny. Like, there's one scene where the mother and father, they have to go to the doctor because they have a rash. because they're having too much sex. And like it's because like she's signing to the doctor, and then they're like, what is the doctor saying? Because they can't hear him. And then she's signing back to them. The father is like, oh, like, fuck no, I'm not gonna stop having sex. And he's going like this, and the doctor's like, what is your dad saying? He's like, oh, Dad, stop being inappropriate. But like literally she brings a boy home, they're rehearsing part of their music, and like her parents are having intercourse, they're having sex, they can't hear that her daughter's home, and it's just a big clusterfuck. But it's just like really it's a nice it is family coming together, but you have this
family coming together.
But this girl though, like she wants to have her own life, and her dad's a fisherman and her brother's a fisherman, and her mother's like, you're the person that signs for us and all that stuff, so we can't do this. But she has this passion, she wants to be a singer and all that stuff, and we just depend on you too much. But I can't spoil the ending for you. It's definitely a movie you have to see for sure. But like literally her parents are acting like juveniles, and like they're like, oh, we just want to have sex all the time, we don't care and all that. And the daughter's just like, I don't know what to do with this stuff, it's just so annoying. But it's and the brother literally is on Tinder, like the mother is helping the son on Tinder. So it's like the daughter's like, why are we talking about Tinder at the table? Like the brother's like, I want to fuck this girl, and mom's like, oh, she's cute or she's not. It's like, what in your right mind would your parents be like, oh my god, I'm gonna help my son with Tinder or something like tonight? It's just so bizarre. But that was a movie that you guys got to get a free trial of Apple Plus or something, and I definitely recommend that movie for sure. It was really good.
Listen, when you want your 37-year-old son to move out of the fucking house, you find a fucking girl for him to screw.
That's a fact.
All right. So on your guys' recommendation, I watched The Adam Project over the weekend. Fucking awesome movie.
Yep.
That was great.
Told you the little kid in it was fantastic, wasn't it?
Yes. Which now he's been cast as Percy Jackson for the Disney Plus series. So
nice.
Madison's pretty psyched about that. But that's all. I just want to hit on that. Kev, it looks like you caught up on a movie for us.
Did I finally? And I know it's been out, available for a while. For whatever reason, we happened to think of it the other night. But the wife and I watched Ghostbusters Afterlife. Finally, what a great movie! God,
yes.
what a great movie! Oh my God, I knew it was good from all the reviews I'd read, heard, seen, whatever. There were still some surprises. I did not realize that all four of the original Ghostbusters were in the movie. I did not know that. However, I missed out on people talking about that. I don't know, but it was fantastic. The way it ended, just fantastic. I want to own that movie. I want to watch it over and over again.
It was great. Loved that movie.
Yeah.
Just the one line that sums it up. Did you miss us?
Yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah. So when the cop asks him, they're in the jailhouse. They're like, who are you going to call? and then when they leave, I don't know if you recognize this or not, but when they leave with the Ecto 1 out of the police impound, they go around the corner. There's a Stay Puffed ad on the side of the building, on the end of the building. Kathy saw it. She saw that. She goes, rewind it. And I rewind it. And she goes, look. I'm like, oh my God, it's awesome. There's so many little things, just the little things, and then obviously the big parts of the movie. Just such a great movie.
Now, did you notice who played Gozer in this one? Right? Am I getting it right? Is it Gozer?
Gozer was Olivia Wilde.
So what was the significance of that?
Nothing. It's just that it's a fairly big name for a part that you really can't even recognize her.
Well, right, but I mean,
and she didn't even speak in it. It wasn't even her voice. It was
right.
Just her body.
So tell me this: who was the woman that played the original?
Sigourney Weaver.
No, it was not.
That wasn't her.
No, she was she was one of the dogs.
She was the gatekeeper of the key. Yeah. She was the gatekeeper because the dickhead there was the keymaster.
Yeah.
Oh, I know I'm right. Why am I right? Because they just had a fucking Ghostbusters freaking marathon on TV the other day.
They did.
Okay, well, I haven't watched it in at least a
Well,
year.
I hadn't either, so I mistook all that stuff. I was the same as you. I'm like, well, I thought sure that was Sigourney Weaver, but no, it was some other woman, and I don't even know who it was.
Corbs.
I'm looking it up.
But okay. So obviously it's been out for a long time, so I can't hurt anything for anybody. The whole time, all the way through this, I'm like, man, I wish Sigourney Weaver was in this movie, and there she was at the very end.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they checked all the boxes. I think they got everybody back by the end.
Yeah, they sure did.
They didn't get Rick Moranis, did they? Was he in it?
Oh, you're right.
No,
He didn't
unless
play
he played an unknown part
I
somehow,
don't
some
think he was in
way.
it.
I don't think so.
No,
But,
you're right on that.
Annie Potts and Sigourney Weaver, and oh my God, it was just it was so good. It was the Ghostbusters that we wanted, and the Ghostbusters we needed, and the Ghostbusters we deserved.
Yes.
Well
So
said.
good. So good.
Yeah, that
Right?
Rick Moranis part was written for actually John Candy, but he gave it to Rick Moranis. He's like, you know what, just do this movie. And Rick Moranis did it and ran with it. What were you saying, though? I cut you off.
Really? John Candy was supposed to do that. I didn't know that.
He was supposed to be also Fred Flintstone, but that's another time, another place.
Wow. Didn't know that.
You got it. What were you saying, Kev? I cut you off.
No, I didn't really have anything else on that one. What was
Corbs,
the other?
what'd you find?
Yeah. What did Corbs find?
She was a Yugoslavian actress, and I'm going to screw the first name up. Savletsia.
Dyslexia? Okay.
Slavitza is her first name. Last name is Jovan. Jovan.
So Zhuzha.
It's still Dyslexia, Jovan, Ruben.
Wow. So she was an unknown. She was an unknown then.
Yes.
She's been an unknown forever. So there you go.
Yep.
There you go. That's neat. So are we going to talk about the rest of them before we talk about the elephant in the room?
Well, I went saw a movie over the weekend. There's no elephant in my house. Kelly and I
There's a fucking elephant. Trust me.
We went and saw Lost City.
How was it?
Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock. Oh, it was hysterical. I couldn't believe how I couldn't believe how funny it was. So Brad Pitt's in it too, which is he's only in it for a little bit, but he's funny in it. So it was good. I mean, it was a good movie. It was funny. You can kind of see where they opened it for a second one, depending on how it does and all that stuff. So, what are you looking at over there? Are you having crack flashbacks?
Yep. The outtakes of Sandra Bullock with Channing Tatum are fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Kelly was telling me that the scene where they're running away when the cars blow up in the back, that was done in one take.
Wow.
And there's a little bit of a thing in it where he jumps because he's not expecting it to be so loud. He jumps and is like running and skipping kind of at the same time. And it's hysterical. But they left it in, and that's the cut. That's the scene that they just saw it. And they're like, "That's perfect," and
Wow.
left it.
Wow.
Yeah. So Daniel Radcliffe's in it too. So
Oh, nice.
from Harry Potter, he's the villain.
Outstanding.
Yeah. So it was. I was shocked at how funny it was and how good it was. So.
Is it elephant time?
Is it like peanut butter and jelly time?
Where are you at?
Go ahead,
write that
Paul.
down.
Go ahead,
Are you
Paul.
pregnant, Paul? Are you pregnant?
That's not possible. That's
Anything's possible in Geek Pod, but go ahead.
So I think it's time to discuss Moon Knight, episode 3. Who wants to go? Because I'm going to give glowing reviews, so that's not fun.
All right, then I'll just throw it out there.
Yeah.
The show's a little bit of a mess. The family is not following it and not liking it. I love the actors, I love the production values, but I agree the writing is unnecessarily complex, regardless of if they're trying to make us off on the feel like Steven does. it's working too well. Especially because here's the thing, a couple things I noticed. Number one, there's clearly a third personality that's popping up and killing people. Why is he just accepting that? I mean, he knows that Steven is not the one who's killing these people, but it got glossed over twice. And he had Khonshu right there, and he should have asked him, hey, what's going on? I didn't kill these people, and Steven can't. I would think that it's something you'd bring up. Right after it happens, Khonshu is there. No mention of it. The other two things, when they're in the whole court of the gods, all right? I'm forgetting the other guy's name? The other alter ego. Mark.
The main?
Yeah. Or Steven. Avery keeps saying, how come Steven isn't in this one? He's the main character. So Mark, they're like, okay, let Mark Spector talk. And he's like, oh, if you just listen, and then says nothing. He doesn't tell them, yes, I can confirm this guy is trying to dig up that old mummy bitch and destroy the world. He says nothing. He just says, if you just listen. And then he gets on the floor in a prone position, like he's praying, and just shakes. And I'm just like, what the fuck is that all about? And then they're like, okay, this guy's innocent. We're done. And they all leave. I'm like,
you're wrong in that, because Mark does go on saying, he is evil. He's trying to do this, blah, blah, blah.
No. He says he's evil, but he never confirms what Khonshu was saying. He never confirms that he's going after to dig her up. Go back and watch it. I'm telling you, he does say, if you just listen, this guy's evil, but doesn't actually confirm anything, which is what Khonshu needed him to do at that point, because they don't believe that Ethan Hawke is trying to do anything bad.
Right.
He had a clear opportunity to do that and didn't. I know Paul looks skeptical.
I do look skeptical because I watched it twice. But now you're making me question the scene.
Yeah, he says he's evil, and then he just gets on the floor and
he was already on the floor.
I'm going to back up. I'm going to back up what Hugh says, because I believe what was happening was there was a struggle within Mark, obviously, because the struggle was that Khonshu and Mark were both trying to get something out at the same time, and there's always Steven trying to get in, his 2 cents. And now we've got this other personality. Maybe that was trying to struggle at the same time. But it was obvious that Mark was struggling with being able to get words out that actually belonged to him. Even though,
I agree with you, but the gods went like that and brought him back out.
Pulled him out.
Some of that should have been mitigated, okay, just by their power. And if he's only going to get 17 words, why not actually get the words out that need to be said? Because there's no reason those gods should have left that meeting without knowing that at least Mark believed this other guy was doing some bad shit.
And again, it was an indication of the fact that there's multiple personalities that each have a small part of the puzzle, and they couldn't get their thoughts consolidated enough to be able to get the words out. And that's my belief. Yeah. And I'm just trying to fit it into the rest of the story.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to understand that scene in my own head. But I'm with Hugh. There's a bit of a writing thing that's going on, and it's making me, I don't know, trepidatious maybe is a word I could use, because I have a hard time with the whole mental illness and multiple personalities, because it's always been my understanding that those are created by a person to be able to justify or somehow live with their life choices. And hide behind a way to explain to someone else that they're not responsible for whatever the choices that they made. Again, my definitions, things that I've learned through my life and my experiences. So I always have a hard time with some multiple personality, disorder, because in my experience, it's never real. And that doesn't mean that I believe that it's not across the board. It's just those are the experiences that I have. So when I see something like this, all I have is my experience to fall back on. So I immediately start to believe, well, I can't believe in this. I'm having a hard time following it. But it is a good Marvel show. It has the theatrics, it has, the acting quality, it has, the cinematic quality. So that's what's keeping me engaged right now.
Third thing I noticed, did you know that if you need to find out where the stars were on a specific date, there's websites that can tell you that? You don't need to change the entire fucking universe to find that out. Jesus.
So there's regressive algorithms that can actually track those star paths?
Yeah, I mean, it might have taken them a little bit longer to figure out, but I mean,
figured there might be.
Then you don't get your god trapped in fucking stone. Yeah.
Well, they were in the middle of the desert too. I'm pretty sure the connection out there probably not the best.
Holy plot.
Chick was using Google fucking star chart. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's what she was using on the freaking.
She was
tablet.
halfway there already. Yes.
Hold on, let me do a Google search before you fuck up the entire galaxy.
I can't find that.
What about all the ships at sea, like the small boats that use the stars to navigate? Hey, I'm going to jump from, this island to this island. They end up in fucking Australia and they left to Japan. I mean, like, why is this 20-minute trip taking 4 days?
And that's what grinds my gears.
Okay, Paul, what do you got?
I mean, if you wanted him to be in prison, they could have done it right at that court thing.
Right. That I agree. I that was a jump that we didn't need.
Then they could have used an app when they got to the desert. Khonshu didn't need to be there.
And going back to the whole tribunal, everything would have been a simple payoff if they would have mentioned the fucking scarab.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, why are we not bringing this up? Like that's
which Mark had originally and which would have implicated him.
Yeah, but the whole hero's journey, I mean, then you get rid of Harrow and deal with your shit. And you save the multitude of people that we're worried about.
No, they're going to save them anyways. Don't you?
They're going to. We got 3 more episodes. But they are taking too long to drop everything into place on this. I just keep looking at it. I'm like, we only got 6 episodes to get through all this shit. So, my family's divided though. Madison is loving the show along with me. Kristen isn't able to follow it, and I don't think Kylie cares. So, I'm super digging it, even though
it should
people
be better.
are pointing shit. Yeah. And I just do want to say that I called it last week when I said we have a third personality developing.
Is that from the books? Is that from the books? Okay.
Yes.
Is there more?
So how
is there 4?
It depends on how they want to go.
How close are they following the book so far? Oh.
Inspired by.
Oh.
And there's probably the issue right there.
Everything though is inspired by. You can't follow all the comics.
Yeah, but I mean the story's gotta have some foundation in history, because
there's still a whole lot they're not telling us yet. And they need to start telling us shit. Like because basically Layla tried to lead him into giving us the origin story of the DID, and he was just like, nope. And I mean, we don't have the storyline on how her father got killed, which is a huge part of that's what we're led to believe, but that's a huge part of the origin story. So, I mean, we've got a whole lot of pieces being left out, and they're sprinkling in other characters from the original run. The dude in the robe, it was a villain from the original run of Moon Knight. We're not going to see more of him because that's the poor bastard that got killed in the skiing accident after the season wrapped.
Dude in the robe.
Where the whole shit took place with the sarcophagus.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Anton, yes.
Right.
He was actually a villain from the original Moon Knight run who was kind of integral in the long run. He was Midnight Man, and his son ended up becoming first Moon Knight's sidekick later on, and then one of his greatest villains. But we're not going to see all that.
No.
But what is the track as far as Harrow being the Fist of Khonshu? Was that directly before Mark? Did not happen.
Did not exist in the comics.
Wow.
Harrow was a one-off villain in Fist of Khonshu.
Are we going to find out that he's lying?
I don't know. I don't think so, because he seems to know way too much.
Yeah.
So,
And the tribunal seemed to recognize that he
yeah, they didn't call his bullshit on it. So, yeah. But I think that's a good stopping point with Moon Knight. Do we have anything else, or are we ready to drop some nuggets?
I don't know. I could keep on talking about Moon Knight, but whatever.
The clock ticking down tells me otherwise. Anything, guys? Anybody else watching anything else? No.
Well, I was at they're old school, but I definitely watched a couple episodes of Twilight Zone this past weekend. Those are always classic. But it's always cool to see the references from like Syracuse or like Binghamton or Cortland. Rod Serling was just like a genius, like just the way he does things. It's cool having the box set because the show ran from 1959 to 1964. It's like brought to you by Love Boy Soap or something like that. But you see like in the credits, like credits CBS, but in the very small print, Syracuse, New York. So that's pretty awesome.
Nice. I haven't watched that in a long time.
So good.
All right. Is it about that time, Corbs?
It is about the time to drop some nuggets.
People say nothing is impossible. That's bullshit. I do nothing all the time. Good night, everybody, and Mega Money, you bitches.
This has been a GeekPod Network production.